how openly can we discuss the lyrics on the album? And
I will stop you. I've decided, just so you know, I have a hard time saying no comment, but I've decided that I've been really honest. So, I won't explain the songs about what's further than they have been explained on the record.
okay.
But I will gladly stop you when you've gone too far.
No, what I've done, I've listened to all the songs and I've really listened to the lyrics, and I wrote down certain key lyrics.
Yeah.
I think there are key lyrics on the album. Well, let's see how far we can go.
Yeah, because I hope you understand this.
No
just
problem,
because
For
I've
me,
gone very far on the record, and I want to kind of stop there.
That's what I want to tell you. It was really an honest album,
Yeah.
and it's really, I think for you, it sums up maybe the life you've led until now.
Yeah, well, it does, and I needed to kind of. I'm in a place in my life now. I've never written a darker album. It's never been more depressed, or just angry. But at the same time, I've never been happier in my own life.
But I think then you can write about it.
That's the thing. I think what I wanted to do was I wanted to write an album that brought up my past. I wanted to look back, as opposed to every time I've done an album where I've kind of just written songs as life goes along. Whatever happens will make the album. I had time this time to look back, and in a very selfish way, I guess, analyze myself. I feel older now, and I know I'm only 22, but I found myself in a position where I started thinking about my childhood, mainly because I'm also in a place where, for the first time in my life, I can imagine myself one day having a child.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, it didn't scare me, it just kind of made me think that I wanted to kind of figure out what made me who I am today, and what I can pick out of my own childhood I want to bring along, and what I want to leave in the past.
Well, then maybe one thing that you want to leave in the past is, it's the opening song, Power Trip Ballad. Or maybe you can explain what it deals with.
You can ask.
Okay, well, I will do.
I'm trying not to go too far.
Let me see. The first line that really struck me was, by all means ask your 9-year-old daughter to choose between you. It's something that, and then I think, then you say, well, mother, I don't feel good. You will always be the better, saddest part of me. Has your mother heard this song?
No, she hasn't. But I know that my parents are great people that will respect the fact that this is my way of expressing myself. And so I've played it for my father, and he just laughed.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course. He's proud, and he thinks I'm talented, and he thinks I'm a good songwriter, so no problem. But again, because I've decided to be actually for the first time, extremely specific in the songs, I don't want to go in on it, but I do on details and but I do think Power Trip Ballad, the title actually sums it up. It is my experience and a kind of relief of some of the anger I've never been able to express before about some of the mistakes that my parents made when they got divorced. I don't think any divorce is pretty. I would love to hear about one once that hasn't affected the child in some way, that hasn't made the child, even if you're happy as a child, you end up in your own relationship one day and you realize that you're affected by the fact that you are colored by people who couldn't stay together. And this is my experience. Power Trip Ballad is my experience, and I think in some way or form it was a power trip that we're both on.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm the only one.
No.
Honestly, the reason why I decided to write it and write, and there's a couple of other songs about it as well, is because I wish I had somebody who had written this album when I was going through it. So hopefully, I've gotten reactions from really, I mean, like older people who are still angry and are still kind of bitter about their parents, and younger people who are now going through it, or people who are getting divorced. And for the first time, I'm not angry anymore, and I think because I wrote the song.
It's because of the song, you think?
Yeah, I think I feel better. Sometimes you just, there's flies here. So.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to tell people how you feel in order to feel like it's out there. This isn't my revenge in any way, and I hope it doesn't come out as revenge or like that, but it's really, I don't know, I needed to say those things, and they're said now, and I don't need to say them anymore.
Okay.